I want to commend the gentleman who videotaped the shooting and then put it on the internet. Because if he hadn't put it on the internet, we may have never seen it. I have a problem when governments, in the face of criticism, release partial tapes. The whole tape should be posted, the whole audio tape of the 911 call. And what I know is that when you have incidents like this taking place, there should be multiple 911 calls. I mean, every time I've ever had things where you had shootings or any kind of dangerous situation going on in a community, there would be several calls. So somebody, I find it interesting that when it's certain incidents, the media requests the information, they notify the public that they requested it, and they post it when they get it, or they have a big fight if the court or the government won't release it. And so I find it interesting that the whole tape isn't available, but a portion of it is available. There's a lot going on. And this evening, again, like I said, at 9 o'clock, I will host Community Crossfire. There's a rapper named Cost. I think that's what he's known by. It's either Cost or Cost the Religion. Even the word religion is spelled a little different. It's R-E-I-L-I-G-O-N. So a couple of letters are shifted because that's how things are done nowadays. And artists can spell things however they want to. So I don't want any criticism of the gentleman because he's changed some spelling. Everybody does it. But it's either Cost or Cost the Religion. And there's a video that he did on the internet. And as long as you're the kind of person who can listen to folks communicate with curse words, but at the same time pay attention to the message they're trying to communicate, it's a very interesting rap. There's really not a video associated with it other than the person who's performing. But the comments that are made by a person who knew Bam Bam expressing their feelings, it's important to hear those kind of things. Whether you agree or disagree, you can learn a lot about how folks feel. Because a lot of times the streets don't get to say what they need to say. See, I can sit up here, I have a TV show, and I can say what I want to say. But everybody doesn't have the same access to TV. But the internet is a place where everybody kind of has access to be able to communicate as long as they can get to the internet. And so I want you to check out the message from Cost. It's a serious message. And the video, with respect to what happened to Jeremy Bam Bam McDole, you need to see that. In all likelihood, I'm going to show that to you tonight. I've been going back and forth as to whether I should show you because it's so alarming. But I also kept in mind that I showed you the video of what took place down in Dover when the gentleman was kicked in the head. And I don't live in Dover, but I showed you that video. I live in Wilmington. I'm a black man that lives in Wilmington. And it's my hope that I'm never in a wheelchair. But I could be a black man in a wheelchair one day. And so if I don't care about what happened to that brother right there, then I'm not worth 10 cents. And I'm really concerned about what kind of black people we have in Wilmington, Delaware, because I've only really seen a few people that seem to be alarmed in a way where they're willing to actually do anything. I mean, the black people in Ferguson, they're more oppressed than we are. And at least They had marches. At least they had protests. I don't understand the black people of Wilmington, Delaware, and of Delaware. Folks do stuff to us, and we just sit here like it's okay. I don't get it. Okay, at this time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the phone lines in case there's anybody who wants to comment on this evening's show. The number's there at the bottom of the screen, 425-5272, if there's anybody that has anything that they'd like to say. I'm going to also have the shooting queued up one more time in case anybody joined me later on in this show that didn't get to see it at the beginning of the show. Hello, welcome to Community Crossfire.
Hello.
Hello, welcome to Community Crossfire.
Hi, my name is Lorraine Muhammad. How are you?
Just fine. How are you doing now?
Fine. Am I getting ready to be on the show?
Yes, you're on the show now, live.
Oh, great. Oh, hi, Mr. Guy. How are you?
Just fine. How are you doing?
I had the honor of meeting your sister and her son returning from Washington, D.C. At the march, 10-10-15, Justice or Else.
Okay, I was there myself.
Yes, sir. But it's really disturbing. I listen to you, and literally it saddens me for the simple fact about the history and knowing your background and the type of person that you are. I'm not literally from here and just didn't understand a lot of the injustice as far as not only in the killing or the shooting, and it saddens me what happened to Elbert Butler. I'm not from here, but just listening and finding out, can you, deep in your heart, find out in this city, my question is, there's never an uprise. It's always, I don't know, is it the pastors, is it the churches? I mean, it seems like as soon as something happens, they automatically be put to sleep. Baltimore, uprise, New York City, Brooklyn, and then, we had a few marches up and down, but it seems like it just stops and then, it just goes away. Not saying that we have to become violent or we have to go out to the streets and start any type of disturbance with the community, but what is it do you think that we can do as a group of people to overcome that Black Lives Do Matter, Mr. Guy?
Well, our biggest problem, we have two problems.
Okay.
There's a ruling class of people that oppress black people, and they stay in power, and they pass the torch to others that are like-minded. So there's a tacit agreement as to who's eligible to be the rulers in Delaware, and they tightly control it. And you almost have to take a vow to oppress black people. That's one problem. The second problem has to do with black people ourselves, because there's also a group of people who take the 40 pieces of silver to assist in our oppression. And we live in a community where you can sell out the black community and then come back to the black community and walk around in our community as if you didn't do anything. Wow. So we have to do something about that. You can sell out our black community, you can oppress us, you can help oppress us, and we welcome you back into our community and in fact ask you to keep doing it to us. And so those folks who are willing to play that role, they're treated in a particular way that's apparent to people who pay attention. So we got to do some house cleaning in our own community with some folks. And we also have to show in numbers that we're not accepting it from the people who are the leaders of this state and this whole society, that we're not accepting it any longer. So we got two problems.
Okay.
And they're not difficult to fix. But We just live in a community. We'll march and complain about what happened to somebody in some other state. We'll go to D.C. and march and complain about how people are treated. But here in Delaware, a gentleman can be shot. The council won't have a committee meeting, a hearing with the facts. See, I've already set a track through the things that I did that show what a black man that's elected is supposed to do at times like this. So
Right.
my question is, where are the black men and black women in city government who all they have to do is copy what's already been set out as the path for justice and knowledge for our community? So after this show, you should all be calling your black elected officials in city government and asking when they're having their hearing. And you should also ask them, when are they writing the check to the family? Okay?
Yes.
That's part of justice as well. And when are they going to review the policies? The police manual needs to be put on the internet. So what I'm going to do is I thank you for your call, and I'm going to see if there's any other calls coming in. But thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much. And if there's anything that I can do, Mr. Guy, we'll set up any meetings or anything where I can be a part of the volunteers. You have my contact information. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, welcome to Community Crossfire.
Hi, Stam. State Representative Potter, Charles to you, but you're doing an outstanding job, and the fact is that we at the Black Caucus did get together, and we are submitting a statement about an independent investigator coming to Delaware to handle the situation. You know, I've talked about it, and it is an outrage. One of the things I want to say too, Sam, is when people think about this shooting of the young man in the wheelchair, they immediately say, well, he had a gun. I didn't see any gun. And if you go to the very beginning, they didn't come out to help a person who may have been committing suicide or a person who had a self-inflicted wound. They came out with guns blazing and shooting. And I said, when you've seen that first shot from the shotgun, I believe in my mind, killed the gentleman. And the guy shot him, he hid behind a car, and then they ran into harm's way if he did have a gun. So I want you to explain that to the people so that they do not jump to conclusions and say, well, he had a gun. Go to stage one. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. And as you all know, tonight I didn't mention anything about a gun. Until the government shows us a gun, I'm not even talking about a gun because I didn't see one. And if they show me one, that's still not enough, because the man was not, at least as far as I could see, doing anything harmful to anybody. All they had to do was wait and take their time. Thank you for calling in to Community Crossfire.
How you doing, Brother Sam?
Hello, how you doing now?
All right, man. I just want to commend you for the work that you're doing, man. My name is Big Key, and I'm so glad that somebody from the black elected officials is really stepping up. I know J.P. Street is doing something, but none of them is really bringing the message that you're bringing tonight, man. I just want to let you know, man, it's pure fire, and I appreciate your work, man.
Thank you so much. I'm not a black elected official. I'm a former black elected official. And the reason why I'm a former black elected official is because what I'm doing tonight is what I did when I was a black elected official. So those people who I told you who oppress our community, they joined with some sellout Negroes and said, we got to get Sam Guy out of office. So Mike Przicki and Bud Friel and some black elected officials and some of the state officials all joined forces and said, we got to get this black man out of office because he cares about the community and he actually does the things that need to be done. So I'm just doing what I'm doing, but I'm not elected official, but I'm official. Thank you for your call. Okay, again, if you have anything you'd like to share, 425-5272. Community Crossfire, thank you for calling in. Hello? Community Crossfire? Okay, well, Community Crossfire, we're going to have to wrap up the show, so be quick.
Yes, sir. Hello?
Yes, we're wrapping up the show. They told me I have 30 seconds, so go ahead. Be quick, please.
Okay, I'll be very quick. I just want to commend you for what you do, Sam God. This is Christian Zinga. Can you spell the name of the video? Spell the exact name of the video, please.
Okay, thank you. Can he show the shooting?
He's over here! Give me your head! Show me your head!
Oh, shit.
Show me your head! Show me your head! Drop the gun! Drop the gun! Drop the gun!
Grab it. Coming this way, what the fuck?
Hands up! Hands up! Put your hands up! Hands up! Hands up! Hands up! Put your hands up!
Put your hands up, cuz. They shot his ass. He's reaching to get. Oh, he bleeding. He's bleeding.
Grab his hands! What the fuck? Put your hands